Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with my co-host James Mason. Good morning, James. How are you doing?
Todd, I'm doing well. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. I like the blue backdrop. It looks nice. Looks like you got maybe. Are you out on parole?
The warden let me have some lights for Christmas.
Yeah. Did you give him a stock tip or two?
Maybe.
All
right, everybody. So currently the Dow futures are slightly up. Let me just take a quick peek again. They were just up 45 points a minute ago, but okay, so they're currently up 42 points right now. S&P 500 is up 5 points, and we're setting up at the moment for a slight bullish day, but you guys know how this is. When these pre-markets are not running too hot, that's when they're usually choppy. And as we approach the end of the year, with literally today and tomorrow, just be careful. There will be a lot of psychological events taking place with people closing positions and whatever transactions that they'll make before the new year. So, Todd, let's go ahead and get into it.
Let's do it.
Y'all have not heard of the buyout rumor that, and before anybody jumps to the conclusion, I shouldn't even have said buyout first. This has nothing to do with predictive oncology, and I know people. I made a mistake there, but I'm talking about Biogen, ticker BIIB. The rumor was that, and I'll go and share my chart. The rumor was that they were going to get bought out by Samsung Biological, or whatever they call themselves. And Samsung came out and said, we don't know what you're talking about. So we can see this massive candle yesterday, which is, when a $200 stock goes up over 10%, that's significant. So if you look at this little dashed line that you probably can't see, but I'll highlight it right there for y'all. That's where we're at pre-market. And obviously yesterday we had this strong push up, and then Samsung came out and stated, we have no idea what you're talking about. And now you have all these people who were chasing that hype. That sucks. So while it can be great news, you get surprised by whatever ticker that you're in and that they announce a buyout. And when you come into massive profits like that, you don't wait until the end to sell. A lot of people get confused, and they think that they have to hold on to their shares until the actual buyout occurs. And these buyouts, they usually take months to process. But when the rumor of a buyout comes into play, that's when you need to start looking for profits. If you try to hold out, bad things can happen. Let's just say, hypothetically, with this ticker, and I didn't read any details on what that potential buyout price was, but let's say that the buyout price was $270. This shot up here, hit a high of $265.54. A lot of people, for some reason, tend to wait until they want to wait to get that full price. That's not how this works. When a buyout is occurring, the market makers, they still need to make their profit. So they'll pin it slightly below that potential buyout price. And if and when it does process and finalizes, they'll make the difference. Even if that difference is 20 cents, they're fine.
It could even be less than 20 cents. It could be 3 cents.
Yeah, exactly. Because as people are selling off to take those profits, since they're just not going to wait for that full price, because you really, it's too much of a risk. Anything can break down in a negotiation like that. Heck, the shareholders could screw up and not properly vote in time.
Crickets.
We've experienced that twice already. So whenever these buyouts, these rumors of a buyout or whatever it is, a company announces that they're getting bought out and the stock price spikes up, it usually spikes up to where that buyout price is actually going to take place at. And you always have to be ready to take your profits. I can't tell you what to do, but I mean, if you had a brain, and I hate to say it mean like that, but it's just true. If you had a brain that could think logically, it's just not worth chasing peanuts when you could have just walked away with the entire peanut gallery. And this is what happens. Samsung came out and said, we don't even know these guys, which they do. They have a partnership, but which is made for a better story. But they pretty much didn't, they didn't acknowledge this to be true. And that just sucks for all these people. I mean, we're not talking about a small stock going up a little bit. We're talking a $200 ticker moving up that much. And these people, they bought shares. The IVs, the IV for these, I haven't even checked for the options, but they're probably sky high. I mean, as soon as this news was announced, they probably went screaming. So like trying to chase this with options, those people just probably got hammered or will get hammered today with IV crush. Really, the only way to have scored pretty decently on this without, having insider information here was to have had shares and then surprise, and then you took your profits. But that's I felt like this was significant to bring up. A lot of people, I really don't know if it's that a lot of people don't study these things, but I felt like this was important to bring up just as a teaching moment for everyone. And this is ticker BIIB. Now, let's see, what else we got? We have Apple.
Oh, the bonus plan, yeah.
What's that, Todd?
Apple announced a bonus for their employees.
It's in line with that Transparent Traders bonus.
I sure hope so. Being honest.
All right.
I hope there's a $180,000 check hit my bank account Friday.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Todd, but it's not going to happen.
Well, if you pin it right below it and just come shy, I'll still take it.
Let's you know what? Meet me in my office after the show and we'll talk about it. All right, so let's take a quick look at Apple. So they just, this ain't breaking news, but I do want to take a look at their chart with everyone really quickly. So Apple just announced that they were going to give out bonuses of up to $180,000, and that's to retain key developers. We obviously live in a economy now that it's challenging to get good help. And, so it makes complete sense why Apple is taking this route. People are motivated by money, but Apple, there's actually some due diligence that I need to do on Apple. And I need to try to make some phone calls to some people I know. There's something, I'm not going to speak publicly on it right now, but I want to look into something to see if I can't uncover a significant bearish catalyst that might be coming up in the company. And this is one of the reasons why I want to talk about it. So Apple, here we are. Apple is, we all know Apple is just a beast. Overall, they are a good company. whether you like them or not, they understand how to make money. But looking at this chart right here, we can see this strong resistance. And I mean, I've been trading Apple a lot this year, almost to the same level that I was trading in 2018. In 2018, Apple was my stock. I mean, Apple alone in 2018, I cleared 6 figures, just trading it over and over and over. And when you get to the point to where you have a good ticker that you know you can trade throughout the year, actually, if you get like 2 or 3 of them, you don't even have to look at anything else once you understand how these stocks flow. So Apple, right here, on this daily chart, we can see this resistance. Let's take a look at the MACD on this daily chart. So we can see the MACD. We can see those MACD lines. I mean, they're screaming. I mean, they're way up here. If you look and zoom out more, you can actually see a bearish MACD divergence. So we see the tall peak right here, lower PPS value, and then a lower peak right here, but higher PPS value. Apple's going to pull back, in my opinion, because it's not financial advice. So what I'm waiting for with Apple to actually see, I mean, we're currently at $179.60 pre-market right here. I need to see it pull back, and lose its strength. So I need to see it actually break below. We'll just round it down to 175. And that's what I'm going to be looking for here before I start to take puts in Apple. And with those Apple contracts, I'm going to give it probably 30 days, just depending on the premiums. So Apple, I feel like, is going to have a very significant bearish event. I don't know if it's going to happen in January or February, but in my feeling, I could be wrong on. So don't make a financial decision based off of a feeling that I haven't even disclosed to anybody. I just need to do some research for myself to see if something's going to pop up. And I mean, heck, if I'm even right with this little hunch that I have, the news, if it happens, the news could release before I'm even done researching it. And if it does, who cares? I'm waiting for it to drop below 175 before taking some puts there. So that is what I am waiting for in Apple to short it. My last, if you're a TTBB member, I mean, over the last like 3 months, I've had a decent amount of alerts for Apple. My last, let's see, what one was this? It's actually this pullback in September right here. That was almost a $40,000 trade for me overall with those Apple puts. I'm hoping I would like to nail another one like that. I don't want to get as heavy as what I was then. I mean, it's a $40,000 trade, but I mean, I had like over $40,000 in it. So while that P&L sounds great, I mean, the profit, I mean, percentage wise, it was great, but it is easier to make $40,000 profit sound great when you don't put any other information behind it. So I did have more than $40,000 in it, just to kind of be a little transparent with y'all. No pun intended. I'll be honest, I wish I never named the company Transparent Traders. I mean, I know that sounds bad, but we never had any intentions of starting a company. We was just wanting to start a group. Just because every time I have to say I'm just going to be transparent, it just sounds like a little pun, a little joke.
So cliche.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hit the cut quick. Good morning, Kieran, Jonathan, Recon, Rob, Neil Kirby. Greetings, freaks, geeks, peeps, and Jonathan Walker. Oh, he's talking to Jonathan Walker. All right, that makes sense. Jonathan is the freaky Greek guy in our group. Neil, we'd love to play some death metal music. The problem is there's copyright laws that prevents us from doing that. We get dinged if we do that. it is a good day for POAI to be up. We'll see if they step up today or not.
I really don't feel like talking about predictive oncology. I mean, I 100% support them. But I just feel like we beat that horse down way too much. And the reason why we do is because most people don't keep up with the information that we push out there to everyone. But I feel very positive about it. And I will say, I did not expect it to take this long, but I am looking forward to what they're going to bring to the table and how this is all starting to shape up for them. In my opinion, I do think that we'll have a solid PR in like 2 weeks. Now, when I say a solid PR, guys, I ain't talking about like a catalyst PR where it's going to make it rocket up to whatever. I'm talking about a PR that, in my opinion, will give us a good understanding of what is shaping up commercially for the company. So that's what I'm waiting for with predictive oncology. So, Todd, did you see any tickers in the comments?
Kroger was in my newsletter, and then Knox brings up this morning about Kroger announced doing a $1 billion buyback. He's not sure if it's good movement or not, but it's had a small move this morning from that announcement. Usually buybacks are a good movement because it announces there's a buyer out there, and it puts a little pressure.
Let's see. Did you say that they're doing a $1 billion or?
Yeah, it's B as in boy.
Okay. I mean, if we're just going to be honest about it, I mean, look at, Kroger's market cap is just shy of $33 billion. Now, while that is positive news for Kroger, it's really just
dropping the bucket.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the best way to put it. And I think just based off of that news alone, I mean, it's already moved up to price itself in for the market.
Is that news that you have to like be on top of it, pop in there and scalp it for real quick and get out?
I don't even think that you could be waiting on news like that. You would just have to be in it before it. I mean, we all know that Wall Street, all those market makers, they actually get that news before we do, and they have to sit on it. And that's how, when that news releases, have you ever watched a ticker? And literally the second that the news is announcing, if you ever go back and look at when the news first broke, those tickers will just start to scream immediately to the second. It's because Wall Street already knew about it, but they had to wait until it was official, until it was public information. So they're already sitting on it, waiting to make their move. And at that point, they're unloading their bags on you. So chasing Kroger right now, I don't think it's going to do anything significant today. With this setup, I mean, it's already losing its momentum. With this setup, I expect it to come up here, fool around, and then probably just die off in the live market. So that's what I see with Kroger right now. So let's see. Randy, let's take a quick look at ISIG.
Yeah, I was going to actually have that on my list next one. I just pulled up on my chart.
What we got? Whoa. Is that share structure correct? 1.7 million shares outstanding?
I don't think it's correct, but that's it's been on the books that way for the last 2 weeks.
We looked at this one a couple weeks ago, didn't we? And I think it's the same question.
I've traded this one off and on a little bit and scalped it. Mostly longs, because yesterday the short price on it was 65 cents for ISIG. And today I can't get any shorts on it.
Hold on. Like we spoke about this. There's no way this thing this thing does not have almost 1.8 million shares outstanding. Impossible. For it to turn over yesterday, 28 million shares, the day before 43, and then so on, no way. It's just weird that none of that data has been updated anywhere. And to be honest, I'm not sure why. So we can see where we are pre-market right here. We're up to 30.54. We have a overall high at 35.50. Let's go to this 5-minute chart. So we're pushing up to pre-market highs. What I would be careful for right here is we've already pushed up pretty decently at this point. I'd be kind of afraid. I mean, if we kind of scale our chart back, we can see all that resistance right here. I mean, up in this range, a lot of resistance, and then it just breaks down. How this performed back here, that's actually what I'm kind of expecting to happen today, just by looking at this chart. Let me see something really quickly. Okay. Yeah. So I don't even see any news today that has happened to really make this push up. So I'm going to have a bearish stance on this one. I think this is going to pull back pretty significantly, and we could potentially see this thing pull back to right there. Let's see. And I mean, I don't know, maybe I could be wrong, but I think we could see this thing pull back to around this $25 range, maybe onwards down to the higher $21 range, somewhere in there. That's just my opinion. That's what I'm looking for today in ISIG. So we're about 6 minutes to the bell. Let's go ahead and wrap it up right there. We appreciate you guys tuning in today. And man, Todd, one more day
for the year. One more day for the year. So if you're not in the green, as they say in poker, all in.
Yeah, go all in on last day. Just kidding.
Right,
don't do that. All right, guys. So thank y'all for tuning in today. We appreciate y'all, and we will catch y'all in the next one.